it sounds like, the addiction basically is almost all encompassing, if you will, of a family's life. I mean, everything revolves around that almost, and trying to protect the family, maybe protect their loved one who is in active addiction. And so that's what I sometimes like to say, the abnormal has become normal. And then once a person in treatment and they're doing fairly well, then a lot of times the family almost doesn't know how to respond and act because it's foreign to them. Now this addiction is not so much the nucleus anymore. And how do we act in a healthy manner?
That was a full-time job.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Yeah.
We've been fired from our job of taking care of the addict or taking care of the dynamics of it. And so it throws the whole equilibrium of the family off. And it can feel very awkward and uncomfortable and unpredictable. With addiction, oftentimes what happens in families is people almost get the person to drink again to get back to what they're familiar with. So it's a great point that you bring up. We don't really know what it's like to live in a healthy family environment. And a lot of people get secondary gain out of being in an addicted family. They become the martyr, they become the enabler, the fixer, the feelings of superiority and judgment towards the addict for being inferior. Sometimes it's the reverse. The addict feels superior and everyone else feels inferior. But it's all out of balance. And so, but it's a balance that they've become familiar with, familiar pathology. And so it really requires a whole re-education of what does a healthy family even look like? What is a healthy relationship? People don't often know what that even feels like. So that's why aftercare is so imperative and so important for the ongoing healing of the family and the ongoing recovery of the addict at the same time. Because we're all addicted to something. Could be addicted to worrying about the alcoholic, could be addicted to a drug or alcohol, could be addicted to being perfect, being super successful and better than everybody so that it makes up for the alcoholic or the addict in the family. People find different ways of trying to, it's almost like these mobiles that you see on babies' cribs. You move one piece, the whole thing shifts. So when the addict gets healthy, the whole system has to shift, and it has to find a new balance. So it's an exciting possibility that you can fully recover from addiction, but it doesn't mean that it's just the addict that has to change. We're all in this together. It's a family affair, and we're all part of the solution, and we're all part of the problem. So it's an important thing, I think, for people to realize.
Yeah. And I think for the most part, that is a problem that most family members are really blind to, that they really don't see it, which is an innocent thing.